a lot of excitement, a lot of engagement. What's your base case for what we're going to see in the midterm elections tomorrow?
So good morning. Happy Election Day Eve. So the base case is a Republican sweep. I've been very confident for months that Republicans would flip the House. The Senate was always more challenging for them based on where the seats are and what the map looks like. And the momentum in the last month or so has clearly been in the Republican direction. So as we sit here this morning, I'm expecting about a 53-seat Republican majority in the Senate, a gain of 3 seats tomorrow night, with the proviso that Georgia could go to a runoff. So everybody remembers 2 years ago when we had the Georgia runoff. It could be Georgia on my mind all over again the whole month through.
Yeah, I was in Georgia when some of those elections were happening. A lot of excitement there as well. But
oh, yeah.
I want to just clarify. You're saying clean sweep. You see Republicans winning both the House and the Senate. What do you think that means for the markets?
So in the short term, I think it's a positive for the markets. I think there's a market rally in the wake of a Republican sweep. Longer term, it's a little bit more complex. As I look into next year, there are challenges for a Republican majority, keeping the government open, raising the debt ceiling. And there are Republicans, especially conservatives within the House, that will push back on their own leadership. So if we don't get a government funding bill in the lame duck session that takes us through the entire fiscal year, then we're going to have to revisit government spending, at least in the early part of 2023. And that raises the prospects of government shutdowns. Those are short-term trading issues. The market tends to sell off, but recover very quickly when the government reopens. The bigger issue is the debt ceiling. I think we could see a repeat of something like 2011 when there was a standoff between President Obama and then Speaker Boehner. Markets sold off, and equity markets did not recover right away. There's a loss of confidence in that kind of situation in the United States government. And so there's a risk-off trade that can last several months. So that's something that I have my eye on.
Yeah, the government shutdown certainly an issue for not only the markets, but just the general country overall. Let's assume that doesn't happen. Let's look at the glass half full in the situation. And Republicans do a sweep, as you mentioned. What sectors do you see as the biggest beneficiaries in this mini rally after the midterms that you're forecasting?
So, I think there's a broad relief, but energy in particular, because the Biden administration has gone so hard at energy. But I think carbon-based energy probably does well. I think financials do modestly well. So those are two that I look at. But I think investors have to temper their expectations. What a legislative sweep does is it blocks the administration's legislative agenda, so there's not going to be any tax hikes on the horizon. At the same time, the regulatory agenda stays mostly in place. And so, when I say they're positives for energy, for financials, a couple of others, don't get overly exuberant, because the regulators are going to still be able to pursue the Biden regulatory agenda, which I don't think is very welcome from investors.
All right, speaking of regulation, we were talking about cryptocurrency earlier today overseas. Here in the United States, what does that Republican sweep mean for cryptocurrency?
So keep your eye on a couple of things. The House Financial Services Committee, if Republicans take the House, that committee will probably be led by Congressman Patrick McHenry of North Carolina. Congressman McHenry has been very interested and involved in fintech and crypto-related issues. He's very engaged on the issue, and I think he pushes for legislation. The Senate's a little bit more complex. It has to be more collegial and bipartisan, and you have a little more compromises necessary in the Senate. There are a couple of bills that have been floating around the last couple of months. There would be a new head of the banking committee. It would probably be Tim Scott of South Carolina. We don't know that for sure. Senator Scott is less engaged in crypto, but I do think there are members of his committee on the Republican side that want to push for clarity on rules surrounding crypto. So I do think there is a push with a Republican sweep at passing crypto-related legislation. And I think it's better than we've seen in a couple of months. It's far from a slam dunk.